Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm one of your hosts for tonight, Jake, and with me as always, the man to my immediate left. We call him the Scream King, the Far Cry guy, the man who may cry devil, and the double dog dad, and the guy who can't get that hawk out of his eye. Steven, what's up, buddy? How's it looking over there on the left side?
I hate that last one.
It's the double dog dad?
No, the man who can't get that hawk out of his eye.
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. What's up, Vortex? Thanks for tuning in.
You have an entire hawk in your eye.
He has that whole hawk in his eye, and he just can't get it out. That other majestic voice you hear, he's the sickest dude in video games. He's the god of headshots and loot. We call him Big Germ, but his name's Jeremy. What's up, bud?
How's it going, bud?
Pretty good. So if you're new here, you're just like, wow, look at this wonderful stream. Isn't that just fancy? Isn't that great?
If that is what you're thinking, hold on to that.
Don't remember that right now. Just really remember that it was good for a second. Yeah. If you're not new here, if you've seen us before, we have completely changed a whole lot of stuff. We are using a software that we've had and have been using for quite some time now. But we're using a new feature that they have, or I say new. It's new to us. We haven't tried it out yet. But we're using it for the stream for the first time. So that's what you're seeing, and that's what we're doing here. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring in our gameplay. So, and of course, for whatever reason, we lost Jeremy's stream. That's what it is. I'll throw you guys to mine. There you go. See, remember when I said just remember what it was like? There you go. We might have lost Jeremy. I'm not sure if Jeremy is still there.
I'm still here.
Or not.
Jeremy,
there he is. Okay. I lost your stream on, you know what? It's because
when my computer restarted and I said, hey, hold on a second. And you were like, all right, let's start the stream. I was like, okay.
Jeremy, you always have the right
to
try. Like, hey, get your act together, bud. Get your act together.
No,
pull it all together.
There was a little lapse in time there that, wasn't accounted for.
It happens. It happens all the time. But anyway, this is the new look. This is what we're doing. But this is also Chortle Cast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. We got a great show for you this tonight. We're going to talk a little bit. Steven actually just got back from a little place called Disneyland, not to be confused with Disney World. But he's going to kind of regale us with tales of that. He got to meet one of our subs, Kalen, the alien. So we're very excited. It was very fun. He gave us lots of gifts. It was very sweet. Yes. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Game Awards, some stuff that's happening there. We're going to talk about Spider-Man in the Avengers, which also, if you're watching live, that's what we're playing while we do the podcast. You'll see mine and Steven and Jeremy's perspective, respectively, throughout the night. So just be sure to watch out for those. We've muted gameplay audio like we normally would for a podcast, just because that's how we're doing it. But I almost forgot. We do have some sick beats. We do have some cool vibes, music to keep us going in the lulls. So I'm gonna keep that running on low. I don't know if that was a weird song. It sounded like it was looping in my head.
It sounded like it was two songs playing on top of each other.
Yeah,
I think it's better now.
It's better now. I think it was just the song. But anyway, we are also going to talk about Hawkeye, and I think that's it. So before we really get into it, though, I do want to talk about the Game Awards. We are going to be live streaming that this Thursday. We're going to be reacting to, obviously, the awards and the winners and everything like that, but also all the game announcements and everything that's going to be happening throughout the night. We are going to be reacting to those and all that. So Thursday night, I believe it starts at 7 Central Standard Time.
7 to 10, I believe, is what I was told.
7 to 10 is what we've been told. Now, it's always been this weird, like, okay, was that the pre-show? Was that the actual show? So
yeah,
we're gonna be there from 7 to 10, and we're gonna take what we get and react to all of it. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But be sure to tune in for that. Vortex is commenting, Steven, that was terrifying to watch. He was down and you just kept hitting him with a barrage
He's a
of
robot.
arrows.
He is not capable of feeling anything.
Steven is ruthless as Hawkeye. He's gonna just pound him, pound him into the ground with his arrows.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time. But anyway, we're going to be doing the Game Awards, but kind of the only real newsy thing that we wanted to discuss is they are actually doing a Player's Choice. So an entirely voted by us category for game. I guess it's Player Game of the Year. Is that right, Steven? Is that
it's
what
just
you're calling it?
Player's Voice is what it's called, and so
Gotcha.
It's just their way of making you feel like your vote actually matters. And they treat it with no respect whatsoever. It's just
it is a throwaway award.
Yes.
It has never had a cool presenter or anything. It's usually just whoever the co-host is will usually say it at some point.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was one year that the player choice was Fire Emblem, and Steven and I were very excited about that because that was our personal games of the year. So yes, it was well deserved. But anyway, this year I'm letting you all know this because we are campaigning for Guardians of the Galaxy to be Game of the Year. And I say we because I assumed, Jeremy, you are not a part of that because you don't like that game. But Steven and I personally are pulling for it pretty hard. So if you would like, you can go to their Twitter and vote in that category there. But we would urge you greatly to vote for not Game of the Year. But
Halo Infinite is in the running for that, and it's not even out yet. It comes out the day before the show.
That's
the online's been able to.
Oh, I know the online's enabled, but the game isn't out. The official release date of Halo Infinite.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know it's stupid. And then It Takes Two is nominated because
that's Game of the Year, 100%.
Brody just said that they were winning, and I'm just that's
that
wild.
Wasn't a troll, Steven.
Yeah,
I would rather vote for that than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow, shots fired.
And that is 100% honest.
Steven, he's not logged in as restream, so we could kick him if you.
I have a wonderful evening, gentlemen.
I'm just kidding, Jeremy. I'm just kidding. We're not going to kick you. But anyway, go vote for whatever you'd like. But like I said, we're kind of campaigning for that. Just give it some redemption.
I'm campaigning for a good game.
Do what now?
Everybody else is campaigning for a single player game.
Have you played some of the Halo online stuff, Jeremy?
Have you played It Takes Two?
No, I don't need to.
You've seen Steven's reaction to it, and that told you.
No,
everything
I watched the Game Grumps play it as well.
Okay, yeah.
They actually did almost an entire playthrough.
We did an entire playthrough,
and you guys must have had a wonderful time.
I had a great time.
It was only fun because of how.
Because you could hate it.
Because of how many clips that we could get from that entire series. It's that kind of thing. It's so bad it's good. People are like, oh yeah, I love The Room. There are so many scenes that I quote because they're terrible scenes. That's It Takes Two.
Okay. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's fine.
Anyway, so go vote there. Do all that stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. While we're also here, I'm kind of going through things I know we're going to talk through fairly quickly. I feel like for the last 3 podcasts, we've talked about Spider-Man being in Avengers. But this is the first time we've actually gotten to play as him.
In Avengers.
He's in Avengers.
He's right here next to us.
He's right here. Here, let me cut to me. I'm sorry, that's going to be a weird jump, but there he is. He's right there. He's running around.
Hulk just punched him in the face.
Lee Allison just popped her head in to say that Spider-Man is the best, always will be the best. But there he is. There's the Spider-Boy.
That's my Spider-Man, who is level 43.
Lee Allison says in every way,
150, something like that.
Every context, no matter what.
I'll hit the soft cap on Spider-Man. No big deal.
No big deal. Steven has hit the soft cap.
Didn't even have the weekend, but I still did.
Yes, so Spider-Man's here. We have had a little bit of game time. If you tuned in to Tuesday's stream, we actually played with him. We all three were playing as Spider-Man. We didn't quite get to do the meme where we pointed at each other, but we all got to play. What do you guys think, Steven? Obviously, you hit the soft cap. You said so. What you've had probably the most experience with it. What do you think?
I've probably said this a million times at this point, but for being a character that really needs to, this game kind of goes against what the design of Spider-Man needs, because Spider-Man is a character that you need those high ceilings, you need open spaces, even like smaller things like time manipulation help simulate the feel of Spider-Man. Considering this game has none of those things and it delivered a Spider-Man that's fun to play and feels like Spider-Man, that's pretty dang impressive.
Yeah.
He is fun. He has a place in the roster. He feels like he belongs just as much as everybody else. They put a lot of love and care into it, and it shows. And I think they did a great job. And he is one of my mains, and I feel good about that.
He's got great crowd control. He's got the
he's
web.
the takedown king.
He is the takedown king.
Because he has high stun damage, but also his intrinsic, when he fills it, he can activate a takedown on anybody. So you can build an entire build around just doing takedowns with Spider-Man. And in a way, you could create a support build to where you're just dropping different orbs by doing takedowns. And it makes sense for him. Like it's a fitting format. And you can really tell that there was a lot of attention and intentional design put into him. It does not feel like Sony was like, put Spider-Man in this game. They're like, okay, this is a console exclusive DLC character. No one's going to care, so we'll just phone it in. Right. They put their everything into this, and it shows. And I love it.
Yeah, it's I was surprised, especially hearing initial thoughts from IGN's preview. I was surprised at how fun his swinging is.
Yeah.
It feels a lot better than I thought it would. And it plays again well for what it is. Obviously there's some not even restrictions, but like limitations with just how like Steven was saying, how they've built the game already. Because this game wasn't built for Spider-Man from the onset. So, but I think he fits in well. He doesn't feel as powerful as other characters, but again, it's one of those things of he has a place in the roster, right? His crowd control, his takedowns, is really unique. Also, something we figured out on the stream, and like we don't have official word on this or anything, but by our calculations, he's the fastest flying character.
He is the fastest character in terms of traversal.
It's crazy. Like Steven and I did a race. I was Thor, he was Spider-Man. I had my boosting ability going, and Steven far and away was whooping me in a race. So it was kind of crazy how well that all worked out.
But it's not just I hold down a button and I'm faster. It is, there has to be an intentionality behind being faster than Thor when flying, like as a flyer. And that's fitting because there is a method to web swinging. Just like in this game, there is as much of a method into outpacing and traversal as they were able to put into it. Because again, this game has its limitations with a character like that. And so it's impressive. It's not the best iteration of Spider-Man, obviously. Like that still goes to Insomniac. But
Vortex, that's a great segue for Vortex said, he said, I'm still wondering why they couldn't get Yuri to voice Spider-Man.
I'll tell you right now, because they're trying to separate the two as much as they can, even though they did homage him a lot in the moveset. They're trying to remind you that this is not that Spider-Man. And as much as I would have loved Yuri Lowenthal to voice Spider-Man in this, I think that Sean, what's-his-face, does a really good job at capturing an aspect of the character that something like this that can't go into as much emotional depth Basically, his entire character in this game is Spider-Man uses humor to hide his fear.
Right.
That's it. And whereas in Insomniac Spider-Man with Yuri Lowenthal, you have the entire emotional gambit of what Peter goes through, what Spider-Man goes through, all that jazz, the humor, the sorrow, the everything. And they can't let Spider-Man have all that. Like, there's not enough game for him to be all that, so they focused on one facet of him.
Especially not having, I guess classic, just like any story mission or anything like that. It's just all, the occasional in-game cutscene and voice files, audio files, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. He's goofy and quippy, and that's just this version. It's not as good as Yuri's, but it's still Spider-Man. It takes an aspect of him that they wanted to focus on, and it does a good job with it.
Jeremy, you have any additional thoughts there? You got to spend a little bit of time as Spider-Man.
It was fun. I mean, you guys have covered pretty much everything that I would say about it. It was a really good character. The traversal's a lot of fun, but you do kind of have to have intent if you do want to go fast, for sure.
Right. Yeah. I'll let you start on this, Jeremy, because I know Steven's thoughts very well. In an unfortunate turn of events for really, I guess it just depends.
Are we really doing this?
How you feel about it, but Spider-Man also got added to Fortnite this in the newest update this week, and I'm not going to say that the swinging is better; it's different. But a lot of people on the internet are really, really kind of pointing out, like, wow, the swinging in this is really good. And people are comparing it to
they're going in on Avengers because they're like, wow, even Fortnite can do a better job.
Right.
Fortnite is a completely different game that is
has
beyond shallow.
Billions of dollars behind it.
Yeah. And is an absolute money grab for anybody that actually plays it. And you're lying to yourself if you don't think that that's true.
Yeah. There is more substance in
poop.
Well, I mean, poop technically has a lot of substance.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Poop does have substance. Poop does have substance.
You know, it doesn't. Fortnite.
It's true.
Burn.
It's no substance.
Yeah. It's I definitely
or
think
any other BR.
Like Jeremy
BR,
said,
more like BM.
Oh, because they're all shit. I get it. I like it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Vortex is, or not Vortex. Fortnite is a completely different engine. It's set up to do. I mean, Unreal can do a lot more than, or not even a lot more. It just has a lot more flexibility.
There's more verticality.
Yeah,
it's open. They have millions of dollars that they could pour into whatever. They've been making literal stacks off of minimal to no effort.
Right.
So
kids stealing their mom's credit cards.
Yep. So bravo, Epic, for being able to actually do something of substance with your game that you've been letting carry all of your wallets for the past several years.
By the way, what's up, Kaylin? Thanks for tuning in.
I got heated today when
Steven was very heated.
I
could not keep up with the messages. They were coming in so fast and so hot.
It's frustrating because I'm the guy who, when something is blindly praised, I come in on the other end and I'm just like, well, let's not just say this thing is perfect. Let's look at what's wrong with it. I try to keep everyone grounded. In the same vein, when something is getting overly criticized, especially if it's something that I like Avengers, because I really enjoy this game, I will jump to this game's defense, not because I'm shilling out for it, but because so much of the hate towards this game is completely unjustified, and I really hate ignorance. That's really the thesis of the whole matter, is that I hate ignorance and I try to end it where I can. And
Steven, so the hero enemy of ignorance.
And this game, you hear people saying like, "Oh wow, this game sucks." They didn't even play it. Like it's people that maybe played it at launch or played it on Game Pass, and they're just like, "Hey, it's really funny to copy paste memes that I saw on Twitter, so I'm going to do that." because that's the only way I feel good about myself is insulting a game that doesn't deserve it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a good meme here and there, but yeah, I understand your sentiment there coming at you. But anyway, yeah, Spider-Man's great. So if you've got a PS5, if you've got Marvel's Avengers, which Brody actually got it on sale.
$5. He got it for $5.
For
And
$5, yeah.
Akib also got it. I don't know if Akib's here or not, but he got it. Sent me a picture of it.
I didn't know that. But yeah, it's I totally think it's worth your money. And especially if you're on a PS5, Spider-Man is a great addition, a great new hero. So definitely go play it. At least give it a try. Give it a shot. Don't just listen blindly, like Steven said, to what.
I'm totally fine with people saying, I didn't like this game. I played it.
Right.
I got my experience out of it. I did not like it. That's fine. Like, give your criticism all day, but don't at me with unjustified opinions when you haven't even really given it a fair shot, or your opinions are based off of a year ago.
Speaking of unjustified opinions,
yes, Kaylin.
Yes, I did see the new Matrix trailer, and having never seen a Matrix movie, I thought it looked really cool.
What?
I've never seen the Matrix. I've never seen any of them.
Watch the first
Jake,
one, and then you're good.
Get off of the stream right now and go watch all 4 of them.
Well, actually,
that includes the Animatrix.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, you're counting the Animatrix.
Yes.
Nice.
I like the Animatrix. I think it's good.
I still haven't seen it. I really want to.
It's good.
He's got me back in. Speaking of things that we should watch, I did want to go ahead, Jeremy.
I was gonna say I'm excited to go watch the movie on the release day, which is my birthday this year.
Happy early birthday, Jeremy.
I think we're gonna go out to dinner in Orlando and watch it at the theater and have dinner at the same time.
That'll be fun.
That's pretty nice.
So excited.
That's pretty great. Before we get too much further, I kind of forgot. There was a video that I wanted to show you guys. Again, talking about. See, Brody's never seen The Matrix either. All right, Brody's never seen The Matrix.
The first one is the first one's legendary. The sequels are fine.
They're entertaining, and the story continues. That's about the extent of it.
Yes.
We haven't done a watch along in a while. We should do a watch along of The Matrix.
I'd be fine with that.
There you go. Okay. So before we go much further,
Kayla, you guys have to earn that. Mask episode 3 is not happening tonight.
We are using this new system, right? I hope you guys are liking it so far. There's going to be some kinks. We're still figuring a lot of things out. But speaking of kinks, I did want to show you guys. God damn it. Speaking of problems, I did want to show you guys this funny clip from me and Steven trying to set this up last night. So I'm going to quickly disable that. I'm going to bring in this clip. Now, I'm going to try to shut up because it's...
You may need to provide some context on the front end.
Context, all right? Steven and I, we were trying to make sure everything's going to work for today, okay? And as I say that, I realized I forgot to put that back on, so now we know this is Chortle Cast. We were trying to make sure, hey, is everything going to work? How's this all going to work? We were testing some things out. We thought this software could do something that we've been kind of jumping through hoops to make work a little bit easier. And it has made a lot of things easier, but we still couldn't do what we thought you could. Anyway, we were testing that last night. We went through a whole deal. We were talking with this guy in the chat or in the support named Robert. He was great help, but he was also no help at all. Because
he was no help whatsoever.
He basically, what he was trying to explain to us without explaining it all to you, he was basically saying, Jake, the chicken comes before and after the egg. And it was just like, what do you mean, Robert? Like,
and Jake actually said to him, I saw the chat message. He actually said, hey, Robert, I'm going to be honest. It sounds like you're telling me the chicken came both before and after the egg right now.
It was very rough. But anyway, we finally figured out, okay, Robert, what we want to do is not possible. Robert's no more help to us. So we left off with Robert. And this is what happened. All right. Steven tried messing with some stuff. This is just some short clips here. We're going to play it. And it's going to be very confusing because if me and Steven talk over this, it's going to be very weird. So I'm just going to push us over to the side here. So I don't think this has been a complete waste. I may need to go back and look at plans.
Hey,
So I don't think this has been a complete waste. I may need to go back and look at plans. So I don't think this has been a complete waste.
I think it's dead.
What did you do?
So I tested this. See if I can get the RTMP pull link to work on my OBS, and I did. Oh my god! So let's welcome to the future.
Welcome to the future.
You seen that?
Yes.
Eventually, it's gonna catch.
Anyway, that's that. We had a great time. It was pretty funny. But anyway, that was just a little clip just to let you know how much we struggled to make this all work.
Really hard.
We did.
We worked really hard behind the screen.
We worked really hard. Yes, yeah. Joe, that was a lot of Steven Inception there for sure. But anyway, well, back to the stream, back to what we're doing. All right, we talked about Spider-Man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I want to save Hawkeye episode 3 for after your Disney trip, Steven. So you went to Disneyland. You also went to see BTS.
I didn't go to see BTS.
He did not go see BTS.
Oh, I'm sorry. Steven went to Disneyland with his sister and his wife.
In the hopes of seeing BTS.
So they were going to see it. But
I'll take it from here. So we went to Los Angeles to because my sister BTS, yeah. My sister just turned 18 and she's a huge BTS fan and she doesn't ask for a lot, but she told my parents that she really wanted to go see BTS. And there's this big show that was happening in LA last week.
Future.
And so we decided it was either my dad take her, which if you know my dad, which I know only the person that's here is Jake, but him at a BTS concert, hilarious. But
I almost wish you had just let him go because that would be worth seeing.
Oh man, I don't think he could take it. But we decided that we'd do him a solid and we would take her because they didn't want her traveling alone. So we decided to go with her, and we got into LA. And I had made plans ahead of time because I'm trying to make this kind of a rule since I travel a decent amount. Is this glitched?
No, I think I've already hit it. Y'all we need to find the place we stand on.
Two, then 3. It's not showing up on the screen, so I'll read it out. So I'm trying to do this moving forward. If I'm ever in the same state of a sub, I'm letting them know in case they want to come like grab lunch or something. And so the first one that I was able to do this with was Kalen, our very own mod. And so he met up with us, drove 2 hours to come find us. And it was a whole thing where like we thought we were going to have our room at like 11. Well, no, 12, because we got in at 11:30. We thought we were going to have our room at 12. And my dad set us up with this room, and he travels a ton. So he's got like titanium status with this hotel, I think is what he said. And let me tell you, this is the least titanium I've ever felt in my entire life because
I'm pretty sure it's platinum, but titanium's a good.
It's titanium. It's not even platinum. It's titanium. I thought it was weird too, but yeah. So they were like, "Hey, yeah, your room will be ready soon." So I was like, "Okay, fine. We'll just go hang out in the lounge." Thankfully, they had a lot of space to just kind of hang out. And so I was contacting with Kaylin. I was like, "Hey, we're in this room. Take a left, whatever." And so I'm looking around to see if I can find him. And I spot this person who's carrying a giant poster, a bag that's clearly like a gift bag, and then like a backpack. And I just instinctively wave. And this person walks up and he's like, how'd you know it was me? And I was like, well, I assume that no one else is going to be carrying a bunch of gifts for somebody. And it was sure enough, it was Kalen. He very graciously brought gifts. He gave me a marker and some Continental coins from John Wick, which was just awesome. Very out of the box, but I love it. He got my sister a poster for My Hero Academia that she likes, and a box of Japanese snacks, which we enjoyed over the weekend. And Jake, what did he get you?
He got me a Witcher medallion that has light up eyes. And when I tell you, when Steven handed me that thing, I threw it on.
I didn't
Did you
see
say I
that,
was muted? What did you say?
2, 3, 4 is the order.
Oh, okay. I threw it on, I turned the light on, and I drove with it on my neck the whole way home. It was a huge hit for me.
Yeah.
So that was very exciting. I really appreciated Kalen. And then he also got a tall neck plushie, which if you're a Horizon Zero Dawn fan, that's the giraffe-like monsters that roam around and you use to they're kind of the towers in the Ubisoft formula, you know.
That's exactly how Kayla explained it to me.
Thank you. But yeah, they one of those which Asher has loved already, and then he also gave us a huge like plushie Appa, which Lee Allison freaked out about, and then he is also Asher's now, and he is in love. He pets him all the time. He sleeps with him. He likes to chew on his horn. It's very cute. So it's been a great time, and it was just some amazing gifts. So very nice.
So yeah, I was about to mention that, Kalen. So also before I get into the BTS fans, kind of trying to go chronologically. Also, Kalen brought the Chortle lore book. It exists. It is real, and
It's a real thing. We've seen it.
And so I just thought that was hilarious. Like, I believed that it was a thing, but just seeing it was just like, I wasn't even surprised, you know, I was just delighted. So that was cool. And so we were hanging out with Kaylin in the lobby. We all went to In-N-Out Burger together, which I had never had before. Can confirm it's good. I enjoyed it.
Oh, In-N-Out is great.
Yeah, I'd never had it before.
Jeremy, have you ever had In-N-Out?
Yes, I lived in California for like 3 years.
Good.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's going to be 2, 4, 5, 3. So when I went to check on our room the second time, this BTS concert was huge, and this entire hotel was like anticipating it, and they were out of rooms because of these BTS fans. So I'm in line waiting to ask about my room for the second time, and this girl who I couldn't tell if she was like young college age or old teenager age, but there was a projection above the like the welcome desk that was like welcome BTS Army. It had the BTS logo and everything. This girl sees that and starts crying. And like, I'm not trying to make fun of her, because it's like, I'm sure that this was like a huge thing for her, like probably dreamed of seeing her favorite group, all that, but that's a little much. It's just the logo. I hope this girl lived through the experience of seeing them in person, you know, like, because if that's the logo, like, she probably fainted. But it was like,
she absolutely fainted.
Yeah.
Had to.
So eventually at like 3:00, the room was ready. The Laura and Anna were going to leave for the show at like 4. Kaylin unfortunately had to head out at that point, so we only got to get lunch with him and hang out with him for a few hours, but it was great. Is this the last one? Yeah, it's the last one. Yes, I see you, buddy. I hear you. So Anna and Laura went to the BTS show. I stayed in the hotel. And I took a nap. I really needed a nap, apparently. And I was messaging you guys a lot in the Discord, Vortex. You probably remember that. That's when I was basically telling you to entertain me. But they went to the show, said it was crazy. They had a great time, so that's really not important. So really, this is kind of a clickbait title. I really survived BTS fans.
Not important.
So we had planned, because obviously we're not going to go that close to a Disney park and not go to the Disney park. So
right.
Friday we planned a day at Disneyland and California Adventure, whatever that other park is called. So we went and did that, and the very first thing that we did was we went to Avengers Campus. Whenever you guys get all the chests going and activate it, I got everything, so I'm just gonna stand back here.
Yeah.
So we went to Avengers Campus, and Jake, how much of Avengers Campus have you seen?
I mean, I don't know if I've seen everything, but I feel like I've seen a lot between Twitter and.
Have you seen the live Spider-Man show thing when he web swings?
I've seen where he swings and everything, and there's the animatronic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Okay. Cool. So we show up to Avengers
Kaylin
Campus.
wants to know, by the way, if Laura liked the concert.
Oh, she loved it. She was so happy. Anna was telling me it was really cute watching her be so excited, and I kind of wish I was there just to see that, because Laura is one of those people that, like, she doesn't talk about the things she likes a lot, so it's just really, it warms my heart being her brother to just see her have something that she enjoys so much that she finally got to do. So
right,
that was cool. But we get to Avengers Campus, and it's cool. The theming is really neat. There's a lot of characters. Do I even want that? No, I don't. Okay. But the first thing we did was at Avengers Campus was we did the Spider-Man web slinger, web shooter, whatever it's called, the Spider-Man ride. And let me tell you, I was not anticipating it to be so high tech and cool, and I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. But you sit in a car, and it has a pre-show that features Tom Holland. And Jake, you might think this is interesting. Harley, the boy from Iron Man 3, he is mentioned. Like, he's like pictured.
Oh.
So are Moon Girl and Squirrel Girl. They have
Moon Girl is brought into this?
Moon Girl and Squirrel Girl have actresses that play a part in this ride. The whole lore of it is that they are a part of WEB, which is the acronym for whatever the engineering team is for this ride. So they got an actress for Moon Girl and Squirrel Girl. They do basically nothing. They don't have a line, but they're there. And I thought that was really strange.
That's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. And there were other names too. I didn't get to Google all of them, but the two that I did, because I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just like a random kid, which that was stupid of me until I saw Squirrel Girl's poster. And one of her facts was Squirrel Whisperer or something like that. And I was like, okay, hold on. So I looked up the name. Sure enough, it's Squirrel Girl. So
wow. Yeah,
that was cool. Which, fun fact, Squirrel Girl in the past was actually played by the AT&T girl from the commercials. There was a pilot for Freeform that was aired, and I think it went well. Like, people liked it, but they didn't pick it up for the full series. So Squirrel Girl technically already has had an MCU appearance, but it was on a TV show that didn't get picked up. So there you go. Anyway,
I was very excited about that TV show.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to mention this too, since this is new. If you're seeing your chat pop up on screen, but then you're not seeing other ones, it's because I have to manually select which ones come through on this. And so I'm trying to show as many as I can. But if I read one, I will for sure show it. Well, I say that unless it's not safe for work. But anyway, sorry, continue, Steven.
So this ride, the whole pre-show is that Peter Parker is like the head of this engineering team, which I think is hilarious because he's like trying to hide the fact that he's Spider-Man. And come on.
Cat's out of the bag. Peter.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
So you watch a little show that's kind of similar to like Rock and Roller Coaster. You know how there's like the screen, but they're supposed to be like in the room with you. And it's funny. It's a funny little pre-show. And the whole story of the thing is that these spider bots have self-replication technology because it's super cool, according to Peter. But they get stuck on self-replication mode. So they just keep eating everything in the facility, and you're trying to help Spider-Man get this thing under control. And so you get in this web car where it's just one row of 4 people, and Flynn has the zoomies.
And Flynn has the zoomies.
Hold on, be right back. I know how this goes, Flynn. I know.
Akib was saying, I was playing Avengers and had no idea Megamind was in the game. Megamind? I know what Megamind is, but I don't know what you're referencing. What's his name? What's his name? It's not Brainiac.
MODOK.
That's MODOK.
Yes.
One of those.
Yeah. So you're in this car, and you're supposed to like shoot spots with webs. So think, Jake, Toy Story Mania.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you're taken to 3 different rooms, and the door opens in front of you. And while we were moving in the car, we had 3D glasses, but I looked down and I noticed that there was this little screen that was showing like a motion capture skeleton. And like I was looking at Anna and her posture, and I saw her skeleton was doing her posture. And so I just started doing this to see what mine would do. And sure enough, it's motion capturing everyone in the car. So when you do this, you shoot a web out of your hand, like onto a 3D VR like simulation. So with no peripherals equipped, like you move over to the screen, the door opens, and there are bots everywhere, and they're just like, okay, start shooting things. And so we're just like, we're shooting with the webs, and the motion capture is detecting that to where the web comes out on screen where we were aiming. So it's Toy Story Mania, but no controls. You just make the web shooting gesture.
Wow.
It blows my mind.
Wow.
You make the web shooting gesture.
And
that is like insane. Like you just said, like I wasn't expecting it to be super high tech, and I don't know why. Like I was expecting high tech. That's the freaking future right there. Like what?
Yeah, and to add,
the future is now, Jake.
I'm telling you.
Now. Welcome to the future. But to add to that, pretty quickly, Anna and I both realized the simulation has physics. So it doesn't only detect shoot web, it detects pull web. So I saw an explosive canister, I saw 2 of them, and so I went, did one of those, and then I pulled, and I pulled explosive barrels to take out a lot of robots.
This sounds like a dream.
It was so cool. It was so freaking cool. But it did eventually get, if I had one complaint, it was that literally the entire screen just became robots. So it was just like, all right, rapid fire. So we're just like, we're just doing that. So there was no aiming involved eventually. Yes, we had Toby webs, no web shooters, which is funny you say that because I felt like once I realized that the simulation had physics, I felt like I became Toby in his room when he learned how to shoot web. So he was like looking at like the lamp and then the can of Dr. Pepper. That's basically what I became. But
yeah, that's what I've always had. That would be a cool power to just wake up and have. But yeah,
most impressive ride from a tech standpoint that I've seen, because like it does it so seamlessly and seemingly effortlessly. Because like you would expect to do that kind of stuff. Like Toy Story Mania or Men in Black or whatever, you'd expect there to be like some kind of peripheral or something that you use to shoot. But no, it's just detecting gestures and placement. And that's wild.
That was not what I was expecting you to say it could do. So
yeah. Although here's the backlash. You can buy an actual web shooter from the gift shop that gives you different webs, so you can actually get microtransactions for this theme park attraction.
So if that would be like you and I riding the Millennium Falcon ride. We would just do that. That would be all I'd want to do all day is just do that ride over and over.
It took us an hour to get through the queue. But honestly, that's not too bad for a ride as new as that is. So after that, we went to Pim's Test Kitchen. I really should have come prepared with
some pictures.
With some pictures, I really should have. I mean, if you want, Anna posted some pictures. You can go through those on Facebook, but it's probably not worth it. Come over where I am, by the way. I've got vibranium. So let me check one of my objectives real quick. I'm working on the indestructible elements chain. So if you guys need to work on that at all, I would suggest looking at your progress. So we did Pim's Test Kitchen, which the entire gimmick is that it's a restaurant that just uses Pim particles to make small food big and big food small. But really, it's just more small food big, because how do you really do big food small? So Anna got a giant candy bar, which was literally it was a Snickers bar that was like this long and like this tall. It was a huge Snickers bar, right. And it had brownie in it too. So
audio listeners are gonna love that.
Yeah, just imagine a really big candy bar,
the size of a loaf of bread.
The loaf of bread.
It was significantly smaller than a loaf of bread.
The size of half of a loaf of bread.
I may have oversold.
The size of 3/4 of a loaf of bread. It's anyway. A third of the size of a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Thank you, Akeem. I'll say again, I am manually popping these up. So if you see one message go up and then you type another one and it doesn't, I might eventually get to it, or it might be lost all in all words. Yeah, it might be lost. But, so there you go.
But if you want to see pictures, I post a lot of them in Discord. I had a field day with posting pictures in Avengers Campus. So I had a giant pretzel. Jake, think of the ones we got in Germany, double the size.
Ooh, okay.
It was great.
As big as a loaf of bread. A loaf of bread pretzel.
After I ate it, it felt like I had just ingested a loaf of bread. I was really hungry because we didn't eat breakfast. I ate that, and then like 10 minutes later, I was like, "Oh, good God, what have I done?" But there was that. Then we went and did Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which was what I was really excited about. And you need to tell me when I need to wrap it up, because I've got a lot of stuff.
You're fine. I mean, I this is why we named this stream this. I knew this would be a longer section. Vortex wants to know if you got shots of the web shooter thing. I don't think you got anything while you were in there.
Look, if I had done it before, I would have totally tried to sneak some pics. But not only are they like, hey, don't take pictures. Usually with rides, they're like, don't do that. But also, I was so in it that like I didn't even think, like I wanted to experience it. I didn't even think about getting pictures, and I don't even know if I could have captured with a picture exactly what was going on.
No, it would have been our attempt at a Toy Story Mania live let's play all over again.
There are no web shooters, Vortex. That's the thing. Like
there are some that you can buy. Yeah. There are some that you can buy, but those are
the only thing they give you when you get in the car, because you're just sitting in a car and you get 3D glasses. There is nothing for your hands. So I could just sit down in there and just be like, all right, boom, I'm web slinging. Look at all my webs. That's like, they don't give you anything. Like, that's what blows my mind, is that it's all done through motion capture.
Wow.
So Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. I love the queue and the story, because I'm just going to assume that, Jake, you don't know anything about it. I'm sure you do, but I'm just going to assume you don't, just for the sake of the audience. Mission Breakout
I actually don't know anything. So
cool. So Mission Breakout is what used to be Tower of Terror at the California park, but they rebranded it to be Guardians of the Galaxy. And not only that, James Gunn and the entire cast returned to like, he wrote, directed it and everything, but also they were their characters. So it's basically a Guardians of the Galaxy short film that you can ride.
You can ride.
So the story is that the Collector, played again by Benicio del Toro, captures the Guardians of the Galaxy. Is it Benicio del Toro? I sometimes get him and Guillermo
something like that
confused. I think it's Benicio, because Guillermo's the director, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So he captures the Guardians, and you are there visiting Tavon's collection so that you can see the exhibit. And there's a short film playing in the queue, which the queue is the Collector's collection. So you can see things like Cosmo the dog, and it's actually an animatronic with a wagging tail and a tilting head. It's the cutest thing.
That's cool. I thought from your picture, I just thought it was just a static thing.
So I thought that too, because Anna had ridden it before when she went to visit Callan in California that one time. And she sent me a picture, but if you look closely at my pictures that I posted, its tail is in motion because it was wagging whenever somebody walks up. But also I looked at it on like the second or third time, and it did the cute little dog head tilt thing, and I was like, oh my god. So there's a bunch of different things, items in the collection.
Vortex, if they ever make a Doom park, I will go with you. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you.
What?
I will go with you.
I didn't get the first part of that.
I was just saying, Vortex, if there's ever a Doom park, I will go with you.
I'm pretty sure a Doom park would only be fun for the strong ones, the strongest people. The rest would suffer. You know, like it would very quickly turn into dominate the weak.
Wow.
I mean, am I wrong though?
No, you're not. You're not. You're spot on.
Oh man, a Mario Park trip would be so fun because they have a Mario World Park in Japan, right?
Like if we ever go to Japan,
actually,
that's a must.
Aren't they making one in Florida as well at the Universal Park, or is that California? I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
So Rocket escapes, and I've actually got a video clip that I'll post to Discord later. You go into the collector's office to be introduced to like, oh, you're about to see the Guardians of the Galaxy. And during his video presentation, you hear something fall through the air duct. And Tavon goes, you are in the collector's office. And then you hear Rocket go, I know. And he starts mocking the voice. He's like, where you'll see all the greatest and most unique things in the and he just mutes him. And it's actually a Rocket animatronic. And like he talks to you. So I actually did get to meet Rocket Raccoon.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
But that part was really cool. It was very funny. And so the plan, the quote unquote plan, the story of the ride is that you have clearance because you're guests at the collection. So Rocket's going to be on top of your elevator and you're going to take him up to the top so he can destroy the power grid and let the Guardians out. And then all the chaos ensues and you are riding the elevator going haywire while you watch the Guardians try to escape.
I gotcha.
And there's do you remember Hang On to Your Little Toys?
Hang on to your little toys.
We have a new one.
Okay.
And it's because, and I don't even know, like it's not even that funny, but Anna said it to me like in the Rocket voice after the fact, and I just thought it was the funniest thing. But he's telling you like you need the biometrics will only read your hands. My hand won't scan. So after the ride, Anna just goes, my hand won't scan. So that's the new one.
That's awesome.
So Guardians was great. There are 6 different versions of Mission Breakout that and that means if I read correctly, it is dependent on the song that you get, and that also determines what footage you get. The footage we got was all of them breaking out, Drax getting eaten by a monster and then jumping out of the monster and punching it in the face, turning to the camera and going, "You're welcome," and then doing his Dave Bautista laugh. It was really funny. So that's what we got. Also, happy to report that in the last clip of them being like, "Thanks for saving us," Cosmo got out as well.
Oh,
So
good. I was worried about that.
Yes. So when you're leaving the ride, Peter says like, "Thanks, guys," and then you hear Drax's voice go, "Why are you thanking them? They just sat there. They didn't do it. We did all the fighting. You should be thanking Drax." So it feels very James Gunn, which was just a ton of fun. We rode this thing 3 times.
Right.
We got Elvis's "Burnin' Love" every single time. So
that
even though
so funny.
Yeah, there are 6 versions. We got 1.
Wow.
But it was a blast every time we rode it. Like it's just got such a fun energy about it. The queue is amazing. I loved it. It was great. What else did we do? Any questions about that?
Steven went pin shopping for me, and I gotta say I'm disappointed in the lack of like really cool new pins in Avengers Campus so far.
The lack of cool new pins.
Yeah, I mean, like the ones that they showed, like the Captain Marvel one I got you to get me, I've seen it before, but I was just like, you know what, I want that one.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for some. I was hoping to be
Captain
razzle
who?
dazzled, and I was only dazzled a little bit. You know.
Speaking of Captain Karen, we saw her twice at Avengers Campus. The first time she was above everybody, literally looking down upon the other peasants in the world. And the second time she was hanging out by a shield jeep.
Nice.
We saw a lot of characters. Wasp was around. We saw Ant-Man, to Black Panther and Captain Falcon. I know I said Captain Falcon. Don't at me. We saw Star-Lord and Gamora walk out towards the mission breakout thing. So one of the things I hate about, like, I love the James Gunn Guardians, but I hate that Star-Lord's entire legacy to the common public is that he likes to dance. So, like, whenever you see a Star-Lord anything at, like, a park, it's just, oh, yeah, come to a dance party with Star-Lord and Gamora.
Oh.
And that's exactly what it was. Like, we were walking out of Mission Breakout, and Star-Lord and Gamora walked out, and they were about to start a dance party. And, yeah, Star-Lord said hey to me.
Oh, wow. That's
so I'm MCU canon
So
now.
did you cry? Like when that girl cried at the...
I didn't cry. Funny enough, though, I did cry when I saw the words Star-Lord. But no.
That's funny.
So
it all comes full circle, everybody.
So what else did we do at that park? We rode the Incredicoaster. That was a lot of fun. Which it's like the California Scream, and that old roller coaster that's been at California Adventure forever. It's that, but it's rebranded to the Incredibles, and it was a lot of fun. I got Anna a sweater that is the most Anna piece of clothing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it so cute?
It's great, and it's very Anna.
Yes. Anna loves Christmas. She loves sweaters, and she loves Slinky Dog from Toy Story. This is a sweater that is Slinky Dog wearing a sweater on his front half, like a Christmas sweater, and it says sweater weather. And it was like, oh my gosh, that's so perfect. I told her, I was like, you're not allowed to leave this park without that sweater. So she got the sweater. She was happy.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
It's very soft too. She said it was very comfortable. So there was that. Saw Bing Bong in that very same shop where we got the sweater from Inside Out.
Yeah. Interesting that they would have Bing Bong running around.
Well, it was in Pixar Pier. So it wasn't the character Bing Bong. It was a statue of Bing Bong.
I understand.
Which somebody in the Discord, when I posted that picture, they were just like, yeah, it's all fun until you realize that his happiness is built on tears. And it was like, geez, because he was sitting on a pile of candy. I was like, didn't need that, but okay.
Thanks for the notation there, but
yeah.
no.
But we rode we went to the Cars area. That was really cool because they just recreated Radiator Springs. So that was neat. What else did we do? It was a big day. It was a long day. But until I remember, I'm just going to skip over to the other part because I hate talking a lot. So we went to the other park, which is where they've got Galaxy's Edge. So it was you, Vortex. I figured it was you. So we went to the other park, got to do Galaxy's Edge. And we'd done that before. I mean, you and I were experts on Smuggler's Run. Yes. We did Smuggler's Run.
I don't know about well, actually, yeah, I would agree. Experts.
We did that thing like 3 or 4 times.
By the end of it, we knew what we were supposed to do, but we just didn't have enough team members to execute it.
So when we rode it the first time, we had the unfortunate luck of getting pugs. And you know
on this trip,
yeah. It was a couple, like a boyfriend and girlfriend. I assume that's what they were.
That's even worse.
Yeah. And we walked in, and because it was their group of 2 and then our group of 3. And the lady was like, you two, you're our pilots. And I internally went, oh no. So they were picked to be our pilots. And the guy made me feel a little bit less nervous because he sounded like he had done this before. He was like, okay, yeah, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have like the inverted controls. You're going to be up and down. I'm going to be left and right. And I was like, okay, maybe this won't be terrible. Immediately, as soon as we start, I'm engineer. I'm the one engineer, and then Laura and Anna are our gunners.
Right.
And so, as soon as we start, we're like leaving the hangar. Hondo Tanaka goes, right, pilot, go up. And so the girlfriend goes and just shoves the thing forward because she forgot what inverted controls are. So we nosedive and we just go scrape it across the floor. and my screen immediately, I see that and I go, oh, and then all the buttons, I'm literally just like doing this.
You're like Cade 6 in that one.
Yes,
Mission Forsaken,
I was literally just
like
hitting every button on the elevator is what I felt like I was doing. And then I was like, okay, rough start, that's fine. But once we get out of here, maybe we'll figure it out. Then the guy hits literally every horizontal obstacle on the way out of the first planet. And so it's just like, all right, I quickly came to peace with the fact that I wasn't going to get to watch any of the screen because I could not take my eyes off of the wall with all of the buttons.
Wow.
So there was that. At the end of the job, we did end up getting both containers of coaxium.
Oh, y'all got both. Wow.
We got both because I'm a good engineer. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you really pulled that together. Then.
Yeah, we got it done somehow. So I saw our scores. I got 100% because engineer is an easy job to get 100%. We did light speed skip twice, but the boyfriend had to hit the lever both times because the girl.
That was great.
I guess she didn't know, or the guy was just way too enthusiastic, so he pulled light speed for her because right pilot's supposed to light speed.
I'm sure he was just like, there's no way I gotta do this.
But so at the end, we got the 2 containers of coaxium. I got 100%, so I got a really good share of our haul.
Mm-hmm.
Before we left, I snuck a peek over at what the pilot's score was. And not only did we have 13% of our health left, but they lost money on the job.
That's bad.
They owed like 600 credits, and I made like 15,000.
Wow.
Or something like that. It was some ridiculous number. But yeah, Smuggler's Run remains to be one of my favorite Disney rides ever. It's so fun. I love it.
That one is great.
It's so good. And Laura, after we did it the first time, she was just like, okay, we're doing that again. Like she was just so ready to do it again. So we rode it twice. The second time we were by ourselves. I was right pilot, Anna was left pilot, Laura was engineer. It was way more fun. We kicked butt. So yeah, there was all that. By the end of the night, my feet stopped working. Got a giant blister on my toe. It sucked. Holy crap! I got 2 exotics. Oh, that's because I finished the thing. Cool. I got 2 exotics. So yeah, any questions? I think I'm done talking about Disney.
Vortex just wants to make sure Germ is still alive. Germ, you alive over there?
Oh man, I'm good.
He's having a great time. He's hanging out.
I just didn't want to interrupt. Just trying to be a
Thank you for being a gentleman.
little gentleman. Yeah,
Kalen,
Little gentleman.
just a little one.
I guess in
Not a
some
big one.
ways,
No.
it in some
Oh,
ways
crazy.
it's like far loan sales, but just in that you're managing your ship and kind of having to keep control of that and keep an eye on all that's happening there. But anyway, yeah, the galaxies, or what is it called? The Mandalorian flying.
Smuggler's Run. It's
Smuggler's
not even
Run.
Mandalorian. It's Millennium Falcon. Come on.
I'm just look, my brain just broke for a second. Yeah, Smuggler's Run is amazing. So I wish they would make a.
If they made one with the Milano, I would lose my mind.
Oh, that would be really good.
So good.
I was just thinking, like, I wish there was something at Disney Springs where you could play, like, a version of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like
totally.
just have like 30 or 40.
Absolutely.
Maybe it would just be as chaotic, but that would be so fun to just be able to easily get to that and just play it as many times as you want.
I would be all about that. 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good trip. Really good trip.
The next thing that is on our agenda of things to talk about is Hawkeye episode 3. Do we want to be spoiled?
I did get blue milk, Kaylin. I got blue milk again. It was good.
The blue milk is pretty good.
I mean, there's not really a ton to spoil. Like talking about Hawkeye is different.
No major spoilers have happened yet. I don't think. So I feel like we can pretty freely talk about it. But if you are somebody who doesn't want to be spoiled at all,
let us know.
Yeah.
And the only spoilery things I think are speculation at this point, like the identity of Uncle.
Yes. Yeah.
But
so I'm going to try to do a quick recap of the episode because I need to remember what happened as well. So Steven, jump in when I miss something. But we start off with
Echo.
This is where Hawkeye got himself kidnapped. Kate had fallen in to save him, and they both get kidnapped. We meet Echo, who is a deaf hero.
She is a direct contrast to Kate, which I really liked.
Yes.
Because we see how Kate's very talented, but she had everything handed to her. And then we see
she's inexperienced.
We see Echo, and not only is she deaf, but she also has a prosthetic leg. Which, fun fact, the actress is both deaf and has the prosthetic leg.
Wow!
So that was added for her. The prosthetic leg was. All right, Vortex. I'll do this when we're done.
That's Steven's signature. For it's done.
So, we see that Kate has had everything handed to her whole life, more or less, and Echo was given less and had to work harder. So she's an interesting contrast to arguably our hero, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is really cool. I hadn't thought about it that way, but I was really sad to see that her dad was killed by the Ronin. And
I don't think it was Clint, though.
Oh.
I think it was Jacques, the swordsman.
Oh.
I think that, well, just to go into theory crafting, I think that Jack Duquesne is either going to have been the original Ronin, or he is a giant red herring. And it's knowing Marvel, he's going to be a giant red herring. Because Jack Duquesne is Jacques Duquesne in the comics, and he is the guy who trained Hawkeye. Swordsman is his alias. Yes.
Interesting.
So I think that he's so interested in the Ronin stuff because he was Ronin, and something happened to where he gave it up, and Clint was looking to basically go on a rampage, and so he took up the sword, left the bow behind so that he could do it under an alias that was not him. So I don't think Clint was the original Ronin. Either that or he is, and he's going to die at the end of the show, and I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that either. But anyway, they eventually escape. And there is an amazing bow combat match that happens after that. They're driving in the car. Kate is shooting. They're out of regular arrows, so they're down to trick arrows, which was a great twist because I think earlier Hawkeye had told her like, "There's no trick arrows aren't whatever." Which obviously we know trick arrows are there, but like these were like some trick arrows. Like they went all out on trick arrows. There's a great final trick arrow that I'll save for people watching. It was a really fun moment, but anyway, it was a really cool chase scene.
So one of the great things about that scene is that it is pulled straight from the Matt Fraction My Life as a Weapon 2012 run of Hawkeye. But that the entire issue is that car chase. And the setup for it is that all of these issues, well, a lot of the issues start with Clint being in a bad situation and him saying, okay, this looks bad. And in that one, it starts with the beginning of the car chase. And he's like talking about how this was just like number 7 on his 9 biggest mistakes of the day. And it like, as the issue goes on, it lists which number mistake that he's on. But he mentions needing to get labels for his trick arrows. And so chaos ensues and they end up having to get in a car chase. it was actually in the car that they were going to get in first. That's the car they were in the comics. And so Kate,
I was wondering, I knew that had to be some kind of call out.
Yeah. It's a car that Hawkeye loves. So they kept in there that Hawkeye was like, no, we're not going to beat up that car. So in the comic, Kate's driving and Clint's shooting, because the comic version of Hawkeye is a lot more comedic in the sense that he is less calculated and screws up a lot. Or he's just he's more of a Peter Quill, to where he kind of stumbles his way through into success sometimes.
Right.
But in this, they switched it to where Kate was the one shooting and Clint was the one driving. And at first I was like, I don't like that. But as the scene was going, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. And so that's one of those things where them changing it, I liked, because the comedy in the comic came from the fact that he hadn't gotten to label his arrows yet. So he's just like reaching for a grab bag of trick arrows, and he doesn't know which one he's shooting. So he thinks he's shooting like an explosive arrow or something at this guy. He hits him in the gun, but it's a bola arrow. So it just wraps around this guy's gun. And he's just like, what? And they just pulls it off and they just start laughing about it. So it had that kind of energy about it, but it makes more sense that coming from Kate rather than Clint. And I thought that scene was handled super well. I loved the long take in the car that was an homage to Children of Men. When they first get in the car and it does the whole sweeping shot, I thought that was awesome. I love how both characters are really shining. Like, I hate it when a show or a movie or whatever feels the need to essentially sacrifice a character to make another character look good. And this show's not doing that at all. And
I almost feel like, and Steven, I hope you'll agree to this, but this is going to be the thing I always point to say that's how you do it right.
That's how you equally build to.
This is how you equally build. This is how you do that. You don't have to tear the other one down to make the other one look great. Just build the other one up. It's
the show is doing such a good job with that and with its characters. There have been sweet moments with Clint, and the more I see just him as a character, the more I see it's just like these people who keep saying that he's like dry and doesn't want to be there. They need to realize that he's playing the part of a guy who literally doesn't want to be in this situation. Right. And there are moments where, like when he's talking to Nathaniel on the phone, that was such a sweet moment.
Gosh,
great.
That scene broke my heart.
Yeah,
so hard.
Like there's those glimpses into like, oh wow, this is like this. He's actually putting in a heartfelt performance, but he's putting in a heartfelt performance the whole time. It's just the role he's playing isn't a guy you want to hang out with because he doesn't want to hang out with you.
He doesn't want to be the role model that he's kind of been forced into being. But yeah, the scene with his son on the phone, he lost his hearing aid, so he can't hear. So Kate's kind of having to help him communicate. And man, that just it wasn't as powerful, but I had a lot of pangs of Scott Lang seeing Cassie for the first time in 5 years.
Yes, the part that gets me the most in that entire scene is when he says, "I love you," and before Kate can even write it down, he responds with, "I love you more," because in his mind, he could hear his son responding how he always responds with, which is, "I love you too." He didn't even need to see that Kate wrote that down to hear it. And I thought that was such a good, subtle little thing that they added in that. These people know what they're doing. This is a good show. It is the best Marvel show so far. And I know we're at the point where this show, if it's going to mess up, it's going to mess up next episode.
Right. I was about to say, this is the episode it always turns.
Yes.
So we'll see where we are.
Around episode 2, I think, like after the first 2 episodes of Loki, I was saying, this is the best Marvel show they've come out with yet. And by the end of it, I was like, this is the worst piece of garbage I've ever seen in my entire life. So I really hope this show can keep the momentum, because right now I love it. And I'm more excited for these episodes to come out than I have been for any other Marvel show, except for maybe WandaVision. But that was just because of the reveals. Like, just because of the I didn't care as much about the characters or the story implications. I cared about the next twist.
Right.
But with this, like, it's street level and
it's very personal.
It's very personal. There's not a lot of consequence like universe wide. But I'm so excited for every single episode because the characters are so good. It's just such a well done story. Like I'm just, and maybe it's because I'm a huge fan of Clint Barton, especially after reading My Life as a Weapon. I've been reading it a lot. I love his character. Like he's becoming one of those. Like I always liked Hawkeye, like the whole underdog aspect of him. But the more I've read him as a character, the more I love the other sides of him, like the fact that he doesn't always want. He's the kind of person that doesn't always want to help or get involved, but he's going to because it's in his nature to just do everything he can, and that's such a relatable quality. That's just so human, and so I love seeing an interpretation of the character that doesn't completely abandon that, but is also true to the character in the universe that we've been given.
Right.
Because this feels like the Hawkeye that we've gotten to know while still feeling like Clint Barton.
Right. Well, it's definitely the longest and deepest look we've gotten of Clint Barton. So that's, I think that's part of it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've loved the moments, the deep personal moments with Hawkeye so far. Again, the kid that just was great. But anyway, what else happened in this episode? I know they eventually go to Jack's apartment and he's there.
Yep. And I'm honestly, and I do think that some of the revelations are going to happen in this episode and in the next episode. And unfortunately, some of those revelations, it could sour me a little bit because to me, it seems pretty apparent that Jack probably didn't kill Armand and that it was actually Kate's mom.
I've been thinking that for a while too, that she was somehow.
Yes. Now I'm hoping that the route they more so take is not like, I'd be fine with that, but I don't want it to be, oh, Jack's nobody. I don't want them to Ralph Boner us, you know?
Well, I don't think they will. Cause I mean, he had that moment. I think it was this episode. It was this episode or last where he did parry.
That was
Kate's
episode 2.
Blind, attack to the face.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna Ralph Boner it, but he may not be the murderer, like you're saying. He may be the red herring.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's a red herring, but also he's not innocent, and that he was the original Ronin, and that the whole thing with Armand, just so like he wasn't involved in that, and that it was Kate's mom, and she's probably gonna. I think that she's definitely got more to her than meets the eye. But I don't know. I don't want them to boner us. Like that is the worst thing that these shows can do, and the Marvel movies is when they're just like trying really hard to clickbait you into something just so that they can bend the story around you being wrong. That doesn't work. And it's really annoying when they do it. So I'm really hoping that they can pull it off to where they're okay with embracing the somewhat obvious. But not like I don't know. I think
not everything has to be a deception, but
yes.
It would be nice to at least not make a deception just for deception's sake.
Right.
So.
There's Chess over here. Yes, Kate called Lucky Pizza Dog, and Lucky is called both Lucky and Pizza Dog. That's like Pizza Dog's kind of a nickname, I guess. So I don't know if they're just going to call it Pizza Dog in this show. But the face that Lucky made when she said Pizza Dog melted my heart. I love golden retrievers so much. I love this dog.
Yeah.
I need more from Pizza Dog.
In all your tweets and stuff, like the hashtag for the Pizza Dog emoji is Pizza Dog. So I'm assuming there's something like that.
Your mic just got really quiet. Like
my mic did.
Okay, now you're good. It sounded really muffled.
It might be. I'm again. Whenever I am playing a PlayStation game, my TV is like on the ceiling, and so I'm like having to do this. I've got to fix this somehow at some point. But anyway, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. We've mentioned the uncle a couple times.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kaylin, it's time for us to talk about that.
So Kevin Feige I guess today announced that, not even announced. He just confirmed that if Daredevil is in the MCU, it will be played by Charlie Cox.
Which is the original Daredevil from the Netflix series.
Yes, the Daredevil we know from the Netflix
guy who
series.
Absolutely killed the role, and people have been saying you cannot cast anybody else. Because he was perfect.
It seemed like kind of a weird announcement to make today or even this week, because there were rumors a while back that like, I think it looks like they're working on a series. They're recasting that character, whatever, or like there's rumors that they're doing it. And of course we were all just like, no, he was perfect as Matt and Daredevil. Like, don't change Charlie.
Well, there's still people that think that he's going to be in No Way Home as a cameo.
I have been one of those people who hope and think that he's going to be in it. But I'm wondering if he's going to be in Hawkeye now.
So just to transition there, when we are meeting Echo and getting her story, her dad, when she's taken to, and I don't know if you noticed this, her karate class that she was taking, there was another child of a tracksuit there. So it's almost like that karate school or whatever is training other tracksuit kids. And in the credits, the kid that gets beat up by the kid that she beats up, his name is Kazi. So it might be the same Kazi. So basically just a small detail to show us that she's been kind of groomed by the tracksuits from the beginning, and there are more kids that have. And so when her dad mentions uncle, like saying uncle will take you home, into the back of the frame, not only do we hear just really loud footsteps that are much louder than her father's, because, Vinny D is a big man, but also we see this really large man in a really large black tux with cufflinks with really large hands that chuckles just like Vincent D'Onofrio from...
It's not Jeremy right now, by the way.
D'Onofrio.
What?
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio, is that it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. But it sounds just like him. And so, like, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, moves like a duck, it's probably a duck. Like, I really think that Kingpin is the big bad in Hawkeye, because in the My Life as a Weapon story, Kingpin runs the tracksuits. That's straight from the comics.
See, and that's so crazy because, like, I feel like the tracksuits are such a joke, and like I've been cool with it, and it's hard for me to take them seriously. So hearing that Kingpin leads the tracksuits just sounds crazy to me. But okay.
Well, if you looked at like the name of the car shop where Echo's father was killed, it was called Fat Man's Auto or something like that.
I noticed that. Yep.
And they already have the front of "You're moving, bro" or whatever, like, which is the tracksuits say "bro." So they use kind of cute names for fronts. So it's like, well, what if this is a front with it being Fat Man's Auto or whatever? It almost seems too obvious to make it Kingpin, just because it's so straight from the comics, but it would work really well, I think.
Well, I think the twist that they could throw here is just that, hey, Vinny D's back, and like this is the Netflix characters that and I'm curious how much of that they're going to retain. Like, is this going to be that Matt Murdock, or is this going to be just Daredevil? I mean, we don't really know his story.
Why wouldn't it be? Because they wrote Daredevil around him existing in the MCU. They just didn't write the MCU around a Daredevil existing in it. So it's really easy to plug him in.
I would assume they would. I just, at this point, who knows? Because like you said, they've never addressed the Netflix shows, even though the Netflix shows address them. But
what they'll probably have to do is redo Kingpin. Because Kingpin, his whole game got kind of blown up.
Right.
Which I think that would be smart, is to give Kingpin kind of a fresh start. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm really hopeful. But Kaylin was mentioning, I'll show that comment, the scene with Uncle, or not with Echo and her dad talking
Echo
about
and her
dragons.
dad and the dragon.
I thought that was a really sweet. It was a bit on the nose, but it was a sweet parallel of they were just kind of talking about dragons, and we know Echo likes dragons, and she's like, what if dragons could come to our world? And her father says it would just make them stronger. And then he quickly turns that into a parallel of his daughter saying, you will have to jump between two worlds, because there's the world that is like with me, people that do ASL, and then there's those that don't. But you'll be a stronger person for being able to jump between those worlds like a dragon. I thought that was a very sweet, a bit on the nose, but wholesome, heartfelt scene between those two.
So you say a bit on the nose, you just mean
like the dialogue felt a bit, saying forced sounds harsh, but you know what I'm saying? Like
there's not an Easter egg with the dragon, right? Like she doesn't wear a dragon costume in the comics or something like that.
Although fun little detail, well, it's not really fun because it has to do with her father dying. But when he dies, he takes his bloodied hand and he places it on her face. Her comic look has a white handprint on her face, so that was paying homage to Echo's comic look. This show does a lot of really little details super well, and I've been very impressed. Where the hell did he go?
I was about to say, did we already eat him off the map? Oh, there he is.
Pin him, Jeremy. Throw him.
I'm trying.
I'll slow him down for you.
But yeah, any other thoughts about Spider-Man?
I love Hawkeye. I'm really enjoying the series. I can't wait to see where it continues to go. I would be shocked if like you said, if Kingpin's not in it. And I really hope they did keep Vinny D, but we'll have to see what happens in the next couple episodes. But that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. Jeremy, you've been quiet for a little bit. Have you been playing anything you want to talk about?
To be honest, not really.
Yeah, it's been a weird time in games. Like I feel like
it's a little bit of a lull.
I feel like I can't catch up on anything, but I feel like I haven't really had time to play anything, and like what I want to play, I don't. It's like the things I should be playing to finish, I just don't want to play right this second.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in a weird place myself. I have been playing Death's Door. I think I talked about that last time. I almost beat it. I'm very close, but just haven't gotten. I just have to fight the final boss, but I haven't sat down to do it yet.
Can we?
It was a busy weekend, so.
Can we talk about how this past week has felt since we did the last podcast? It feels like such a long time ago. Like this week has been so long for me. Like even being gone for 2 days. I was telling Jeremy this before we started. It felt like I'd been gone for a week, but I was gone for 2 days. Like it just feels like it's been so long since I've like talked to any of you. And the fact that Spider-Man came out a week ago tomorrow, and I don't know how I was able to soft cap him, because that's not a lot of time, and I feel like I haven't played him that much. But because I didn't have the weekend, and this isn't me working around to flex to be like, hey, look at how high level my Spider-Man is. It's not
right.
Like this has just been such a long.
You can humble brag. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you've earned it. It's
brag, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Actually, I take that back, Jake. I have. I played Ocarina of Time, and I'm at Ganondorf's castle already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Every day I keep thinking like, okay, is this the day I'm gonna upgrade my Nintendo Online and jump into some of those Nintendo 64 games. I need a few more. You know what I mean? I need a few more to make it worth my time, but I'm close.
Ocarina of Time is worth it in itself.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's the top of the list. What I'd want to play. Kaylin, I did get to watch Shang-Chi. I liked it. I don't know if you saw this news, Steven, but they are doing a Disney Plus show for Shang-Chi now.
Cool.
So there's that.
So is it Shang-Chi or is it the 10 Rings? Because
Shang-Chi.
let me tell you, here's a show that I want. I want a show
Oh God.
that is. I'm serious about this. I want a show that is about the 10 Rings, but every episode, it's about the 10 Rings Fight Club, and every episode is just a different matchup from random people in the MCU. How cool would that be?
That would be cool. That would be cool. That would be really, really neat to see just different cage matches.
We already got Wong and Abomination. How more random can you get?
I still wish they would explain that more, because like Wong and the Abomination, it's almost like they were an act. You know what I mean? Like they were partners, and it's just like a show. You know, because he was just like, I've been telling you, you must train, whatever. And then they walk in the portal together. It's just like, okay, who was Abomination? Like, was that like Hulk canon? Like, did this just happen? What's going on? So that was wild. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, I've been playing Death's Door. That's about it. I really just haven't. I want to finish Deathloop. I want to finish Death's Door. And then I'm hopefully going to get back into some Destiny. I'd like to just poke my head in for the new season, for the most recent season, just because I paid for it.
Poke your head. You paid for it?
Yeah, I bought the season pass on day one, because that was when I was really into it, and then other things happen.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. So I want to poke my head in. See if I can at least get through the story before
you
the season
hate yourself for like an hour and a half, because that's how long the new story probably
You're in a vicious cycle, Jake, where they get you just enough till they announce the next thing, and you might be enjoying yourself, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'll buy that, and then suddenly, wait, this game isn't fun. Why am I playing this? Well, I bought it, so I might as well. And you find yourself having to justify the purchase that they tricked you into making. Don't pre-order Destiny content is what I'm trying to tell you. You need to wait, because it's such a fickle game. Like, I'm not even saying it's a game that you shouldn't want to play. I'm telling you, it's fickle.
You shouldn't want to play it.
It is fickle. So anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to be too upset. I got to play enough of the season that I'll be happy. But I want to circle back to that at some point. But anyway, I don't know. Well, I don't guess there's any other topics we need to address or need to talk up. Chat, while we're just kind of wrapping up here, I'll start going through the rigmarole. What did you think of this new setup? Has it been weird? Were you getting weird game audio overlays and stuff, like, or have you enjoyed this so far with this new system? While you guys type and we hear from you, let me say thank you for watching Chortlecast, the official podcast of Chortle Games. We talk a little bit about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. We do this podcast every Monday evening, typically around 8:30, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. We are on YouTube, chortlegames.com. We are on Facebook and Twitter, both at Chortle Games. And we're on Twitch, twitch.tv/chortle_games. What was I going to get to?
Jake, change the background quick. Make it more chortle.
So here's the thing. Vortex is bringing up. He says, "Don't like the background. It seems weird." I can do all kinds of things. All right, in the background. Like right now, I'm using the tower from Destiny. I can do that.
Boo.
I had this orange version of what we were using just then.
That's good.
Do you like that?
That's more chortle.
This is the cyan. I think that's what I had running. I also have this RGB one. That's just all that. But I also just have if you had to jump back in, it's our bad.
It's just zooming on Hulk's butt.
What did you just ask me, Steven?
I sent you those backgrounds for I think it was for E3 one year, and they were very Chortle games. I can't remember when it was.
Oh, I don't, but send them to me again. I'll drop them in here, or you can drop them in here. Just add them to the background.
I'll have to find them all over again.
Yeah, I went looking for some stuff last night, and this stuff was the best I could find. On short notice. What I'd like to do is use the pre-roll stream, that video that's got our animated characters going on behind us. But when that hard drive failed, I lost I lost access to all that, so I haven't been able to do that. So anyway, no idea what just happened with the stream cutting off, so I apologize for that if you're watching live. But we are actually going to end the stream and end the podcast for tonight. Again, Mondays 8:00, somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30. We start. We're on YouTube at Chortle Games or chortlegames.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter at Chortle Games, twitch.tv/Chortle_games. We, of course, live stream throughout the week. We're going to have live streams Thursday. We're doing Game Awards, so be sure to tune in for that between 7 p.m., 10 p.m. And then Brain. We're going to probably be streaming Friday and Saturday as well, so be sure to tune in for that. But anyway, and you can always, let me throw this up there. You can always follow us on Twitter, see when we go live there, and then you can, of course, join our Discord. I'll leave that up there for a while because I think you have to type in that link. I don't think you can actually click on it, but that'd be cool if you could. Anyway, that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.